Michigan statehood.
Michigan's journey to statehood unfurls like a fever dream penned by a bureaucratic Kafka. It's January 26, 1837. Michigan is set to become the 26th star on the flag. Imagine the southern border of Michigan, not a simple line on a map, but a fierce serpent, writhing and hissing in a prolonged dispute with Ohio. This saga is less about land and more about the human condition, stubborn, petty, and gloriously chaotic. Rewind to the late 18th century, when the region was a mere cog in the grand Northwest Territory machine. In 1787, Congress birthed the Northwest Ordinance, a lengthy document attempting to impose order on the untamed frontier. It drew boundaries with the naivety of a child coloring outside the lines, a straight line from Lake Michigan's southern tip to Lake Erie, a line that would become the epicenter of a hilariously convoluted dispute. Fast forward to the War of 1812. The conflict disrespected the government's surveying plans like an ill-timed plot twist. Indiana's northern border shifted 10 miles north, reshaping the geopolitical landscape. Amidst this chaos, Michigan's capital relocated to Lansing, as Detroit was deemed a vulnerable pawn on the international chessboard of hostilities between the British Empire's Canada and the United States. By 1816, Illinois snagged statehood and sneakily secured a Lake Michigan coastline, altering the intended boundaries yet again. Enter Edward Tiffin, former Ohio governor turned surveyor general, a man with a penchant for redrawing lines to Ohio's advantage. His actions gifted Ohio with the contentious Toledo Strip, transforming it into a geopolitical hot potato. With the tenacity of a dog with a bone, Michigan petitioned Congress for an enabling act to convene a constitutional convention. Congress denied the request, playing the role of an exasperated parent, citing the unresolved border feud. Wary of the ongoing dispute, the federal government redrew the border for the umpteenth time. This revision saw the future Confederate General Robert E. Lee wield the surveyor's tools. Michigan, miffed and militant, passed the Pains and Penalties Act in response to Ohio's claims. Things escalated most theatrically. Ohio, insistent on its claim, conducted yet another survey, this time with militia muscle. Under his father's cautious counsel, Michigan's youthful Governor Stevens Mason let Ohio play the aggressor, hoping public sympathy would tip the scales in Michigan's favor. Cue the federal government's entrance, appointing Benjamin C. Howard and Richard Rush as arbiters. Ohio's attempts to hold elections in Toledo turned into a slapstick spectacle, with Michigan authorities arresting Ohio supporters and dragging the Ohio state flag through Toledo's streets, a scene worthy of political satire. The climax was the Battle of Phillips Corner. Michigan forces captured Ohio surveyors in a Keystone Cops chase. Ohio retaliated by declaring the Toledo Strip Lucas County. President Andrew Jackson, ever the reluctant referee, watched unrest brewing like a tempest in a teapot. In a bizarre twist of fate and financial desperation, Michigan's territorial government went bankrupt from military expenses. Public and clandestine conventions led Michigan to accept Congress's resolution, relinquishing Toledo to Ohio in exchange for the Upper Peninsula. This compensation was less about logic and more about political pragmatism. The legality of this decision was about as solid as a politician's promise, with delegates handpicked by Governor Mason casting dubious votes. After years of this ridiculous tangle, President Jackson finally accepted Michigan as the 26th state on January 26, 1837. Toledo, destined for greatness in Michigan's dreams, never became the bustling port city anticipated, as railroads rendered the Erie canals obsolete almost overnight. This saga, officially resolved once the Supreme Court's 1973 ruling in Ohio's favor, is a stark reminder of the absurdity and complexity of early American statehood. It underscores the often absurd nature of political power plays, the whimsical influence of individuals like Tiffin and Lee, and the convoluted dance of diplomacy and aggression. The Michigan-Ohio border dispute, a wild ride through history, offers a lens into the chaotic, often comedic, tapestry of American governance. It's a tale of resilience, bureaucratic folly, and the peculiar dance of statehood in a fledgling nation.
You've been listening to a portion of the RPTM Podcast. We hope we made you laugh, but more importantly, we hope we made you cry. If you found this episode engaging, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our upcoming thought-provoking discussions.